Dad texted at 7:14 p.m., just as I was stretching a pink birthday banner dotted with tiny gold stars across our living room. We'll miss your daughter's birthday. Things are tight right now. No heart emoji. No apology. Just a message cold enough to make the air around me feel brittle. I stared at the screen, chewing the inside of my cheek. That's fine, I typed without thinking. Muscle memory from a lifetime of expecting less. In the background, my little girl hummed happily, her tiny hands covered in frosting as she arranged cupcakes with far too many sprinkles. Her 5th birthday. I tried to swallow the lump in my throat. There was a time I would have called him, offered to pay, begged him to show up. But I don't beg anymore. We cut the cake. We laughed. We danced to Disney songs in the living room. I told myself it was enough, that she didn't need anyone else, that I was enough. Morning came, 7:02 a.m. She crawled into bed beside me, still half asleep, scrolling through my phone with sleepy giggles. Then her laughter stopped. "Mommy," she whispered, her voice tiny and fragile. Her finger hovered over my father's Facebook post. A photo, Dad smiling ear to ear, party hats, balloons, cake, 2 other grandchildren on his lap. Caption, "Best day ever celebrating with the grandkids." My daughter's lip quivered. Why not me? 3 words, soft, confused, cutting straight to every scar I thought had healed. I pulled her close, breathing through the sting behind my eyes. I didn't break, but I bent, quietly, purposefully. When she returned to her cartoons, I opened my laptop. 1 click, 2nd click. Every savings transfer, every emergency fund, every automatic deposit frozen. No warning, no message, no second chances. By 8 a.m., my phone lit up. Dad calling. I didn't answer. Not yet. Some lessons aren't spoken, they're felt. And today he was about to feel every ounce of what he'd made me swallow. The 2nd call came 30 seconds later. Then a 3rd. A text, sharp and commanding, "Call me now." I stared at the screen, coffee cooling in my hand. Once, that tone would have made me panic, scrambling to fix what wasn't even my fault. Now I breathed. I stayed still. My daughter sat at the kitchen table, legs swinging, coloring a unicorn, humming softly, innocent, hopeful, still believing in the goodness of the world. I envied her that. I hated the world for trying to take it from her. The phone buzzed again. "Dad, what did you do?" My card declined at the pharmacy. I sipped my lukewarm coffee. Calm, clear. Not anger. 2 minutes later, Mom called. Her voice frantic, breathless, like a woman running from herself. "Why are the accounts frozen? Your father is furious. We needed that money." Needed, as if I were a bank, not a daughter. I kept my voice steady. "Things are tight right now." Silence. Heavy. The kind where truth settles like dust no one wants to stir. "Don't be dramatic," she snapped. "We have responsibilities. Your nieces needed school supplies." I cut her off gently. My daughter needed her grandparents yesterday. I heard it, the crack in her breath. That wasn't personal, just a familiar line she threw when I swallowed my whole life. Maybe it wasn't, I said. But the consequences are. I hung up before she could twist guilt into chains again. Across the table, my daughter looked up, cheeks pink, crayon in hand. "Mommy, can Grandpa come next time?" I walked over, kissed her forehead, tucked a curl behind her ear. "He'll come someday," I whispered, more for her comfort than truth. "But until then, we have each other." She smiled, small and trusting, and I felt something shift. Not revenge, not triumph, resolution. This time, I chose her, the child I once was and the child I was raising, and I wasn't bending again. By noon, the quiet shattered. My phone exploded, calls, texts, voicemail stacking like dominoes. Dad didn't ease in, he detonated. "You ungrateful brat. We supported you for years. Fix this today. Family is family, act like it." I scrolled through his messages from the past year. 1 birthday text. 2 generic holiday forwards. Nothing else. Family only mattered when I paid for it. Meanwhile, my daughter chased Bubbles in the backyard, squealing whenever one popped on her nose. She didn't know her innocence had just been drafted into a war she never asked for. I sat on the patio steps, letting the cold ground me. The phone buzzed again. Mom, now with that brittle sweetness she used to mask blame as concern. Why are you doing this to us? Your father is embarrassed. People will talk. Not love. Reputation. Mom, I said, calm but firm. You posted best day ever with the grandkids. Pause. Flicker of defensiveness. You're overreacting. We didn't think she'd understand. She's 5. She understood enough to ask why she wasn't loved. Silence again. Then the line I used to swallow, but not anymore. You know we can't be everywhere. No, I said steadily. You just choose where to be, and it's never with us. Her voice snapped. You don't talk to your parents this way. I felt it then, not anger. Grief. Grief for the little girl inside me who waited at windows for grandparents who never came. For the adult who kept giving chances to people who never deserved them. No, I whispered. Not anymore. I hung up, not in rage, in release. Inside, my daughter's voice bright. Mommy, come blow bubbles with me. And I did, because that call mattered. He didn't. Maybe, just maybe, it was my turn to choose where I showed up. By evening, I learned something about people who take you for granted. They don't panic when you're hurting. They panic when their comfort is disrupted. My silence was the loudest thing I ever said. Dad didn't call again. Not him, extended family. Unknown numbers. Cousins from 2019, suddenly concerned. Did something happen? Family shouldn't fight. Not one word about my daughter. I set my phone down and walked into the kitchen. There she sat, tiara crooked, eating leftover birthday cake for breakfast. And why not, she asked. Mommy. Mouth full of frosting. Do bubbles count as wishing magic? I nodded. They do when you believe in them. She smiled, pure and trusting, untouched by selfishness. I envied it but promised she would never lose it the way I once did. The doorbell rang. I froze. Old instinct, old fear. UPS guy. A package for me, no sender. Inside. A simple silver frame, no note, no explanation, just a quote. Sometimes the family you build deserves more than the family you're born to. The world stood still for a moment. Vulnerability pressed through the cracks. Someone saw me. Someone understood. And it steadied me more than anger ever could. That night, tucking her into bed. Mom, did I do something wrong? Is that why they didn't come? My heart clenched. Not rage, heartbreak. No, baby. You're everything good. And people who can't see that? That's about them, not you. She nodded slowly, eyes soft with trust. I realized I wasn't just protecting her from them. I was rewriting a childhood. Hers and mine. Before bed, my phone buzzed. Dad, we need to talk. This is childish. Fix it. I smiled, calm, resolved. Tomorrow. He'd learn what fixing actually looks like. Morning sunlight spilled across the kitchen when a long text arrived. Anger dressed as authority. You can't punish us for one misunderstanding. Real families support each other. Help me. I looked at the life I built, brick by brick. Alone. Late nights. Silent tears. They helped the idea of me, not the girl who cried herself to sleep. I typed slowly. You never supported me. You financed your image, not my life. I didn't send it. Not yet. Words matter when reclaiming your voice. While my daughter colored unicorns, I brewed coffee and felt a new strength settle in. Not rage. Not revenge. Awareness. The doorbell rang again. Aunt, breathless, clutching her purse like armor. Sweetheart, you need to stop this. Your parents are devastated. Your father's blood pressure. I raised a hand. No, not today. She blinked, stunned. No one in the family ever challenged the elders. This isn't you, she whispered. I smiled small, knowing. Yes, it is. The version you never bothered to see. She left. My daughter peeked. Are we in trouble? No, I said. We're finally safe. That's what boundaries are, not walls to keep love out, but walls to keep harm from coming back in. I gathered my laptop, opened the banking portal, not to reverse, but to move every account further out of reach. I wasn't reacting, I was restructuring. This wasn't punishment. It was precedent. By late afternoon, the storm cracked. Dad called. Silence itself a threat. I let it ring 3 times before answering on speaker. calm as winter air. What the hell do you think you're doing? Freezing my accounts. His voice exploded. They're not ours, they're mine, I said evenly. Until priorities change. He barked, you don't get to lecture me. We took care of you. No, I interrupted softly. You took credit, not care. Silence. He pivoted to guilt. You're humiliating us. People are talking. No, we miss her. No, we love her. Just image. Reputation. Performance. I saw your birthday post. I continued. Must have been a great day. Beat. Pride pushed him anyway. They're your cousin's kids. We were invited. And we weren't. Come unflinching. You expect us to attend every little thing? It wasn't little, I said calmly. My daughter waited. She asked why she wasn't good enough. He exhaled annoyance. She's young. She'll forget that. No, I said quietly. She won't, and neither will I. My hand steady. Breath even. Growth isn't loud. Sometimes it's quietly refusing to collapse where you once did. Tiny footsteps padded across the rug. My daughter hugged my arm. Mommy, did I do good today? Perfect, I whispered. And I realized I wasn't cutting ties. I was breaking a cycle. Manipulation escalates before it dies. But today I'd already won. Not by taking from them, but by refusing to let them take anything more from us. Expected anger. Expected shouting. Instead, a voice memo from Mom, trembling. Sweetheart, we're family. We made a mistake. But what you're doing, it's cruel. Not the post. Not selective love. Not the years of reminders that someone else mattered more. Me. I was the villain for refusing to fund the illusion. Your father is ill. The stress is hurting him. The old me would have broken. But the new me sat still. Straight spine. Steady breath. Remembering being 8, watching Dad light up at someone else's achievement while mine sat folded in my backpack. I pressed play again, not for pain, but for pattern. They weren't hurting, they were losing access. My daughter wandered in, teddy in hand. Grandpa mad? I know. No, baby. Grandpa's just learning. Learning what? That love isn't something you pick and choose. It's something you show up for. She nodded, quiet acceptance. Then, she did something small that nearly broke me. Tiny hands cupped my cheeks. I'm happy we have us. That's enough. I hugged her, breathing her softness in. For the first time, I believed it. I didn't need a dad to choose me. I needed to choose her and myself. Tomorrow I'd respond. Not to fight, but to end what should have ended years ago. Dad didn't call next morning. He showed up, pounding on my door. I opened it slowly. For the first time, he looked small. Fix the accounts now. No greeting. No apology. Just entitlement. My daughter peeked from behind me. I stepped forward, calm, protective. You choose where to show up. I learned from you. We made one mistake. No, I said. You made a pattern. I just finally saw it. You'll regret this, he snapped. No, I regret teaching my daughter that people who ignore her deserve space in her heart. My daughter tugged my hand. Mommy, can we go play bubbles? He froze. That same overlooked child, asking for something simple. I turned back. Dad, if you truly want to show up for her, not for money, not obligation, the door stays open. But until then, access stays shut. What do I tell people? The truth, I said softly. Love needs presence, not excuses. I closed the door. No slam. No rage. Just closure. Inside, my daughter handed me the bubble wand. We have us, she whispered again. And that's enough. I watched the bubbles float into sunlight. Fragile, beautiful, free. I realized I didn't cut them off out of anger. I just stopped letting them cut me. Revenge wasn't freezing accounts. It was teaching my daughter what love really looks like. Choosing peace over permission.